Gameweek 25 has been wild. I don't even know where to start from. Let's start from Arsenal. 3-1 loss to Swansea.
After the class.
It's typical us not to mess up, but I wasn't expecting that. I think we started the game well. Started the game somewhat well. I mean, Monreal did well to score that goal. I don't understand what happened after that, to be honest. I don't even understand why Wenger didn't start Mkhitaryan. What do you guys think?
That's something that has always baffled me about Wenger. Whenever he signs new players, he tends to, put them on the bench. I don't know if he's trying to get them to observe the style of play or
get
what's
them
going on.
That's his excuse, but I mean, isn't that what training is for? I don't understand. I don't understand that. I mean, especially if you're still planning on bringing them in the same game. You brought him on with like 20 minutes left to play.
Mm.
I don't understand why we're trying to catch up in the league. You're going to play Iwobi that's not really playing that well and leave Mkhitaryan on the bench. And when he came on, he actually looked good. So I don't get why he didn't start that game. He did similar things with Sanchez when Sanchez first came in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand it. I was saying it in the group chat and Dio was like, it's just a tradition. You have to bring them on so fans can welcome them or some shit like that. I don't know. I don't really believe in all that. I believe in a more practical approach. We weren't even playing at home, so which fans?
So it doesn't matter.
We were playing away, so which fans?
Wenger is old school. You have no way to change his mentality at this point in time.
It didn't make sense to me because he looked good when he came on. I found myself wondering why did we start Iwobi in this game?
A lot of times I think he just does it, to show how impactful a player can be on the game.
I mean, if you're gonna do that, why wait till 70th minutes when you're down 3-1?
I mean, a lot of these right now we're debunking Arsenal for not winning that game, but we ought to praise Swansea as well.
Nah.
They've been on a good form. Last week they beat Liverpool.
They did beat Liverpool?
Yes, they did beat Liverpool by a
goal.
goal.
Yeah, they did. Wow.
And this week again they did well. Same home, beat Arsenal, came back from a goal and went 3-1. I think they also deserve.
They're playing well,
praise for that performance.
especially they're playing well. But I felt like that's Arsenal's game to lose, and there's no excuse for Arsenal losing that game. In my mind, there's no excuse. Especially since they started well, they got the first goal. How do you get the first goal? The side that's trying to get into top 4, you get the first goal and you concede 3 goals against a side that's fighting the relegation battle. How does that happen? I don't understand. I don't understand how that happens.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody expected Arsenal to win, even after beating Chelsea in the FA Carling Cup.
Whenever I
coming from another form,
you say beating Chelsea, I just cringe a little bit. I mean, was that really beating Chelsea? That's not the same thing as beating Chelsea in the Premier League. Because I felt like, I mean, it's a game, it's a cup, but they were not really that out to
They played their strongest 11. Same as you guys.
You can argue that, but I think it'll be very different when we meet. Not necessarily the results, but the game when we meet them in Premier League is going to be very different. That game was very boring. Did you see that game? Very boring game. I was actually regretting watching the game because there wasn't much going on, to be honest. There wasn't much going on in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I was surprised Lucas got 2 goals, and I don't know where that guy came from. But respect to him, I guess. For getting 2 goals.
So not a good start for Mkhitaryan, and
I mean, I won't say it's not a good start for him. He came on, he played well. In the 20 minutes he got, it was not a win, but that's not his fault. That doesn't reflect on him in any way. I think he did himself proud in his debut at least. Let's see, West Ham, Crystal Palace. I can't remember what our predictions were, but I found that a little bit surprising. I found that one surprising.
I think I went for 1-1 because West Ham right now they are suffering from injuries. Like they lost like 2 of their players.
And Lanzini didn't play, did he?
Lanzini is out as well. But they got Joao Mario.
Yeah, Joao Mario just is on. It's a loan move from Inter Milan.
I know you know about that one.
No. But so here's the thing. Joao Mario looked like an interesting prospect right after the Euro Cup, with Portugal.
Yeah.
We're thinking this guy is a bright young, talent in the midfield, especially with the way he combined with this other boy, Sanchez. So we're thinking, okay, bright youngster, this guy can hold the midfield. He comes into the Italian league, he's unable to do anything, he's on the bench. We bounce him and we're using Brozovic instead. Brozovic begins to mess up. We try Jamario again, nothing. We bring in Gagliardini. And it's like a cycle of, okay, try him and he doesn't have anything to prove. So now he's on loan. See what he can do at West Ham.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't looking bad that game. I saw the highlights and I believe he was the one who provided the one assist.
All those guys tend to look good at first. Like even his Rodrigo, where is he now? So where is his Rodrigo? he looked decent. First game I saw him at Stoke, I was like, really? Okay, I'm about to bring this guy on my team. And where is he now? I don't know. What even surprised me is that Benteke actually scored. That was to me that was a shocker. Because he's been missing for a long time. I was surprised that he scored.
Yeah, Benteke is only come back from, because I know as soon as he left Liverpool to start at Crystal Palace, he had an injury. Unfortunately, they had to pull him out, and since the new coach came in, I think they have a relationship. He's able to get into his head to get him to play like the old Benteke.
Yeah, but he's been on the drought for a little while. So. Anyways, Liverpool got 3-0 on Huddersfield away from home. I guess their performance was kind of alright. I expected a little bit more, at least from Salah. I expected a little bit more, but I mean, they went out, they got the 3 points convincingly too.
I think the most shocking thing for me is they didn't get scored, especially playing away. Because usually they tend to be very careless when they play.
I did expect Huddersfield to score actually.
Yeah, that's because especially with players that Huddersfield have, what's his name, Mooney, they usually score goals. They're very attacking side. They don't really they're not one of those teams that fear big teams. They play very aggressive football. They play their own game. They don't play to to stop you from scoring.
Yeah, I thought the Porter was gonna score for sure, but. That's not what happened.
Because the firepower was too much.
Yeah. And it looks like they were sitting back a little bit. There.
Is it just me, or has Emre Can been playing a more active role since Coutinho left?
He has. I was actually shocked today that he was able to get, yesterday, he was able to get in position to take that shot. And I think that was not the only one. He took either.
And I think they brought Milner back into the lineup.
I think that's a temporary thing. Milner was starting over Chamberlain, I think, yesterday. I guess Klopp is going to keep rotating him. I was surprised he didn't start Chamberlain because it looks like he's been picking up some form lately. I actually had Chamberlain on my team, and
Milner played in the
unfortunately he got just a few minutes. Yeah, Milner played, I believe so. Yeah, he played in midfield.
Yeah, he played in midfield. He played as a right mid.
Yeah.
Left mid, sorry.
Anyway, today's games. Okay, let's start from Chelsea Bournemouth. That was very shocking to me. I think that's the reverse of the prediction I made. Instead of Chelsea winning 3-0, they actually ended up losing 3-0. I'm not even exactly sure how that happened. They seemed like they were controlling the whole game. They had possession and everything. They had the passes going. They had the chances, but somehow
second half came.
Somehow they managed to lose 3-0.
I mean, for me, I'm not surprised. Chelsea look like they are dealing with a lot right now behind the scenes. You have a couple of players that are really, they're not sure how much longer they're going to be on the team. You have players like Kante who are receiving, criticism. Hazard, we're still not sure if he wants to be a Chelsea player for next season. You have players like Bakayoko receiving criticism as well. And then you have the injury to Willian as well. Then Pedro stepping into that position. Ross Barkley too, a position that is unfamiliar for him. We haven't seen Danny Drinkwater in a while. So you tend to see a lineup that has not been consistent either. Yeah. Meanwhile, Robbie Howe has been able to, consistently put out a team with Bournemouth that these guys playing week in week out, they are ready. Jordan Ibe has been on a good run recently too.
Yeah, but it's 3-0.
I mean,
All that
sometimes
stuff can add up quickly, but
once it goes wrong, the whole shit.
I feel like they will really miss William being there. And I actually just realized that William Quarter has not been.
Yeah, he has not.
And I think he adds to the team. He does not get on the score sheet or assist, whatever, but I feel like he contributes a lot.
You know something? He reminds me of the kind of mood Lampard used to bring to the team. That sort of stability in the midst of everybody driving up front. He brings that, okay, let's just keep it simple.
Yeah, assurance.
And then you now have Hazard playing up top. Man, with Hazard playing up top as a pure 9, it's too easy. It's too easy to mark him.
But in recent games, he played that role.
And how well has he played it?
But I don't know.
The problem there is who is creating for Hazard.
Yes,
Does he have to drop back?
It's definitely not Ross Barkley.
I think it's the William thing.
Yeah.
Really,
Pedro does not have that desire to
Pedro
get
does
forward.
alright, but I don't think he compares to William.
No.
To be honest,
Pedro would have been better off playing the 9 and Hazard sticking to his left wicket.
Maybe that may.
Who will they play instead of Victor?
They play Zaragoza.
Yeah, I think there's a rotation thing going on.
But that's.
But they didn't even bring him off the bench.
Why would he do that? Moses has been contributing a lot lately.
That's what I'm saying. There's turmoil in the back room.
I think, like you said, the behind the scenes stuff is
Conte
probably
is
more
not looking to
to
stay
blame,
this
but
season.
for what's happening.
And one thing that continues to surprise me is nobody is looking at this boy Nathan Ake. He's a former Chelsea player.
Right?
It surprised me today.
Defender that continues to score goals. Nathan Ake is talent. It's talent for me, if you ask me.
Chelsea's that game really shocked me. But anyways, next Everton Leicester. Wow, I didn't. The scoreline didn't surprise me too much. But is that what I predicted?
Yeah.
Everton winning.
Yeah, you predicted Everton 2-1 or Leicester.
Really? I don't remember that. But okay, I guess I had my reasons for saying that. But what surprised me is Walcott scoring twice. I expected Walcott to impact the Everton squad. I expected him to, be that man, bringing assists and stuff. But I was shocked that he got 2 goals today. So that's.
I believe Walcott has always been the guy to get in the box to score the goals rather than create for other players. So he was coming into that team to add goals since they were lacking that already. Yeah.
Here's my thing. I feel like Walcott came in at the perfect time because here's an Everton team that has been slumping. As soon as Sam Allardyce comes in, their first focus is okay. Let's get a defensive tactics going on. Let's stop the goals, and then they draw with their games, and then they realize okay, now we need to push forward and start attacking, and then they bring in their Walcott. They let Aaron Lennon go. Fills into that position, and then you now have Rooney in a position where he can actually feed 2 players on either side, and Niasse with a strong body up top. So it's like, man, the whole thing is set.
Yeah, what I expected was for them to have Walcott assisting and supporting Rooney.
Yeah.
Because Rooney was getting some goals back there some weeks ago. I expected Walcott to come in and. I mean, if he gets the goals through, that's fine. But I thought their tactics was going to have him come in and support Rooney to get some more goals.
I mean, for a player like Rooney, with his age, you don't expect him to be consistent with the goals.
Yeah, but he had some periods of consistency there.
I mean, you give you a good run of 3 weeks. After that, he'll be tired. So you need the other wingers to contribute, which was what Lennon was failing to do.
Yeah, because Lennon himself, age is catching to him.
Yeah, I don't think he has the pace he used to.
He might have the acceleration, but not the pace to outstride players.
So I see Walker being a success. He will get a lot of goals for himself. He has players like Rooney servicing, looking to provide the forwards.
Yeah.
And give.
And then he has the backing of Idrissa Gana Gueye right behind
him. That's a solid defense.
Another thing about Walker though is I don't know how long he's going to keep this up. I hope and I suspect he's going to do better at Everton than he was in his last season at Arsenal. But I don't know. Like the whole Jose Rodriguez thing. We see some of these players come in and they make an impact, and it looks like they're about to change the whole squad, and then 2 weeks, 3 weeks down the line, nothing.
I mean, Walker coming into a team like Everton is bringing in experience, is learned from Arsenal. So all those leadership skills is their main guy. To me, is their main guy right now.
Well, especially working with an Englishman like Sam Allardyce. Yeah, he's able to communicate with a lot of these players. You have a couple of English players in there too. Yeah, they have a nice setup.
Alright, hopefully they can keep it up. Sigurdsson looks like he's going to be providing a lot of support for them too. Hopefully Walker can grab a few more goals. Anyways, Newcastle, Burnley. I'm not very surprised. I didn't really have much. I didn't really think much going into the game, to be honest. 1-1, that sounds about right to me. Let's see who grabbed the goals even. Lascelles and looks like it was an own goal by Carl Darlow. Well, I don't know. I don't have much to say about that game.
I mean, Newcastle have been performing of late. They just signed Slimani too.
Yeah, and then Burnley signed Lennon.
I think I expected Burnley to get the edge in that game just because they've been looking the better side recently. And
Here's my thing. Both teams have outstanding coaches who understand the game. You know, you have Rafa Benitez on one side and then Sean Dyche on the other side, and both teams they're pretty much bottom of the table teams trying to pull their way up.
I think Burnley is doing a little better. Anyways, Southampton, Brighton, 1-1 again.
I would have expected Southampton to win that game comfortably.
I don't really have that much faith in Southampton these days. I think I actually, in my prediction, I probably expected Brighton to win this one. I feel like they have more firepower these days going in. I don't know. What do you think?
For me, I actually expected Brighton to win because Southampton, they're one of those teams that they continuously let go of their better talents.
Yeah.
And they don't replace them immediately.
I expected Gross to start picking up some form again this week.
Yeah.
And, well, we didn't see that happen.
It's one of those.
Anyways,
It's
to
one
me,
of the fantastic players.
I didn't expect it to be a very remarkable game. Anyways, Man City, West Brom. Not surprising, West Brom didn't really come out from much. They're away. They're playing against the league win. Well, not league winners yet, but but the favorites. They're playing against first place Man City. So understandably, they didn't really come out to play. But I expected Man City to win. Obviously, the only thing that surprised me is that Aguero only managed to get one goal. To be honest, City controlled the game. They had more of the possession and the passing and stuff. But I don't know. I would not be surprised if West Brom managed to grab one, maybe on a counter or something. But 3-0 is not surprising.
It's not surprising either. Sterling and KDB keep performing. KDB with a goal and an assist. Sterling with 2 assists. It's the same Man City we've been watching from the beginning of the season. So I expected that from them. I expected to win.
I think to tell how, Pep Guardiola's mindset towards this game, he played Laporte immediately.
He started?
Started. And then we have Zinchenko playing regularly. I'm not sure.
That's the academy boy, yeah?
Yes, I'm not sure. Maybe this guy is injured, Delph. What's going on with that situation? Because I know Mendy is supposed to be back in a couple of games. But the fact that this Zinchenko guy has been getting time, I'm guessing Pep is trying to let Mendy know you're not just going to, jump back into the team. You're going to work your way back into this team and have this young man that's playing this position properly.
As it should be too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have Gundogan back too, playing consistently. And I'm not sure what's going on with Danilo. Danilo's been on the bench.
He's been on the bench, yeah.
For a while. At first he was using him in different positions. I'm not sure what
I thought he was playing decently. I mean,
yeah, it seemed like he was playing decently, but
I don't know. Sterling is still, he's still up there with the rest of them. I'm actually surprised by his form this season. I knew he had the potential to play on this level, but I'm surprised he's been able to keep it up this long.
It's the kind of days that Guardiola does to these young boys. He knows how to play with them, brings out the best. I mean, in Liverpool, Sterling was awesome. He had the position to get the goals, get the assists. It's all about, can you get in the positions? Will you be able to finish properly? And I feel like Pep Guardiola coming into City has helped them improve in those aspects. You see him notching double digits goals already, and we're just in mid-season. That is incredible for Sterling.
Plus, we're seeing a very mature side of Sterling as well.
Yeah.
Let's see how far he can get. I suspect he's gonna do even better this season.
Yeah, I don't think West Brom even came to play this game because looking at the possession, 75% to 25%.
Yeah.
You can't have the ball 25% of the time and expect to even have a draw.
3 shots, 1 shot on goal. I mean,
1 shot on goal. What's Rondon doing?
Is their manager still there?
See, Alan Padre.
Is Alan Padre now?
Yeah.
So the field is left.
It's typical mistake that a lot of these small sides make. I mean, you can sit here in hindsight and say it's a mistake, but who knows, if they came out to play, the score might have been 6-1 and not 3-0.
Yeah.
So,
Man
City is the kind of team that has the ability to
capitalize
to just bash you down like that. Anyways, a nice win for City. Yeah, they run away with the title if they hadn't before, especially after this week with Man U losing, Chelsea losing. It's I don't know who's chasing them, if anybody's chasing them. Stoke, Watford, 0-0.
That's a dry game.
Honestly, I didn't watch this one, but
yellow cards.
Just looking at this, I can tell what kind of
How many yellow cards?
7 yellow cards
7 yellow cards
in a game.
Was there rain falling?
I don't know. I can already tell what kind of game
typical
this
Stoke
was.
game, man. The typical game at Liberty Stadium.
Stoke are a very useless team. They're very stupid.
I like Stoke actually. They're one of my favorite.
See, here's my thing about Stoke. Stoke have found a way to draw players into the team with this whole, we'll give you a chance to shine in the Premier League and you can earn your spot back in your big team. Yeah. But it's an endless trap. There's this thing when it's like quicksand. Yes, Rodriguez came here, he kept sinking.
Rodriguez.
Choupo-Moting, he's very talented. Choupo-Moting on any other team would be doing fantastic. Instead, he's sinking with this Stoke team.
I think Rodriguez has no way to blame for himself.
Shaqiri is sinking with this team.
They're playing their positions. It's left to them to just.
I think
there is no unity.
I think Shaqiri has played, even despite the fact the team as a whole is not doing so well, Shaqiri has still been somewhat consistent.
But who has requested Shaqiri?
Nobody's going to request him for Stoke.
That's the point.
If anybody was going to request Shaqiri from Stoke, it was probably going to be a club like Leicester, Everton. That would have been good. I think that would have been a good transfer for Everton actually.
Shaqiri.
Yeah, that he probably would have fit well on their team.
Yeah.
They could take Niasse off, probably bring Sigurdsson more central and put Shaqiri on the wing. That would have worked out well for them. But I wonder if Stoke would even let him go. He's their main man basically.
Too much.
But even Peter Crouch, they are playing Peter Crouch. This Mame Diouf, I'm sorry, what's his position again?
He's a striker.
Because I could have sworn I've seen him play.
The last manager used him as a right wing back for some time. I don't know why he used that. Because at that point, Diouf was even on my team. He was getting goals. There was a period in time where he was just getting goals pretty much every other game. And this guy, for a period of 2 games, decided to take him and put him as a right wing back. I will never understand why he did that. And after that, his form just seems to have been in the gutter since then.
I see they've brought in this boy, De La Feu, to Watford.
Really? Since when?
So what it looks like is they've returned Troy Deeney back into a central role, put Richarlison and De La Feu, 2 pacey kind of guys, on either side with him. And then you now have Capoe, Cleverly, and the core. People who can control the ball in the middle.
The Watford team looks solid too, to be honest.
Yeah.
Is Richarlison still in there?
Looks solid.
Yeah, Richarlison is starting up top. And then they are bringing in Pereira from the bench and Andre Gray.
I'm actually quite surprised that Richarlison didn't get a goal in this game, even if they didn't win the game.
Even Berahino is talented. I don't know what's wrong. It's not clicking.
Berahino is a typical English player. Small time they have hype,
and then
they just die down.
Honestly, I think what might be happening at Stoke is players are trying so hard to outshine the rest of the team. They are not helping anybody.
Berahino was coming from West Brom, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So they actually let Berahino go, and now they expect Rondon to do what
Berahino was doing.
I don't know what's gonna happen there, but I feel like he was much better than Rondon. But anyway, to the game of the week. Spurs, Tottenham Hotspur versus Manchester United, aka greatest club in England. So, Tejumade, as the only man you find here, I'm going to give you a chance to explain what happened.
What's wrong?
I mean, to be honest, I didn't catch the first goal, but looking at the first half, it's like the boys came out there not prepared for the game. Like, the defense wasn't together, midfield all over the place. Lukaku was nowhere to be found. Man, I don't know. It's our worst game of the season.
But that's not quite surprising. Lukaku is never anywhere to be found in big games. I could have told you what Lukaku would do today. I could have told you this last year.
I mean, it's something we have to put up with and have to play with him like for the rest of the season.
For the rest of the season, what's going to happen at the end of the season?
I don't know. They'll train together. They'll get better. I mean, it's still adapting. That's the truth. It's only been year after season, and he doesn't know how we play yet. So I believe he will improve all the time.
But I
He's young.
mean, when he first came in, he came in running like he got a running start. He was getting.
When he was scoring out the goals, you didn't know how man you were playing at.
Like, what happened?
This guy is saving face for him.
What happened?
Lukaku ain't shit. That boy sucks. The boy is nonsense.
Yeah.
He need to go back to primary school and learn how to control ball.
I mean, I feel that's why we have people like Zlatan.
Guys, see, honestly, I would say this.
They are mentors to him.
That boy has received passes from some of the best passers in the game, and he still can't control it.
What do you have to say to that?
He has to keep training, bro.
But I mean, no matter what you say, gel with the team, this, that.
They need to change his football book.
There's no excuse for his record against. I mean, we talked about this before. His record against
big teams
big
in big stadiums. They killed him by putting him in Wembley, the biggest stage in England. They finished him.
But man, aside of his failure to score a goal or help the team, I feel our defense was horrible, and they are the ones who are supposed to carry the most blame.
I mean,
Smalling and Jones, those guys are supposed to be on the bench.
Two of them are
second choice defenders.
Two of them robots.
We need Bailey back.
I like Bailey actually.
Maybe Jones can be good once in a while, but I trust me, with Smalling in there, his confidence be dropping low. He's having to deal with covering for Small the whole time, thinking about this guy's going to make lapses and I have to cover for him. Like,
it was Jones that scored a world-class own goal against your keeper.
That's an amateur mistake.
It wasn't a mistake.
That showed pressure on him.
It wasn't no regular own goal too. It was a very stylish
from that type of goal, you can tell that Jones is an amateur. He's still a young man. He's not. He was under pressure. He panicked, and it was just okay. Let me clear this as simply as I can. And not just going with the fundamentals of football. The partnership is terrible.
It is very terrible.
Like the defense wasn't solid, but
those two.
I think the bigger problem was you guys were not playing as a unit.
Yeah.
You really were not playing as a unit, and even more than that, it looks like apart from the hair and post, there were just 9 men attempting to work together, whereas one man was over here waiting for the long ball.
You see, like I said, we were ready for the game. Mourinho today played a different kind of game, and the players had to adapt to it.
Okay.
Switching Martial to the right is something we're not used to.
Yeah.
We're trying to get used to playing with Sanchez on the left. It's not something you play in a big game like this. I would have liked to see Sanchez coming off the bench this kind of game.
Coming off the bench.
That would have been a wise thing to do. Play the way you've been playing before,
and then let this man
simple.
fit into the system.
Exactly.
I mean,
play safe.
Ordinarily, I agree with that, but Sanchez was arguably the best player on that pitch.
No, there's one thing
Apart from on your team, anyways.
He lost a lot of balls. Just him out there. He was losing balls.
No, I'm not talking about.
It was a target for Spurs.
I'm not talking about his performance in this game. I mean, in terms of potential.
Oh yeah, we can't deny Sanchez is the best player on our team.
I understand what you're saying. Like, don't rock the boat. We've been playing like this, but I can understand the temptation for the manager to put him in there. Especially considering this is not his debut game, maybe in the Premier League. Yeah. But he got some game time with the team. He kind of saw how things are. Even though I think that's not enough, but
the inconvenience
a lot of
if someone plays a player who has consistently played in a position because of you sign somebody, you basically put Martial on the right, knowing that is less effective there.
Yeah.
You're taking a risk. You don't go to Wembley to take a risk.
Left to me, it would have been better to play Sanchez on the other side.
On the right.
Because somebody who has more experience, a better skilled player, who probably we could argue is more flexible on the field than Martial. We know Martial's flexibility is limited on the field. Yeah. Put that man anywhere else apart from where he wants to play, he's almost a zombie on the field.
Exactly. Honestly, I think this was a result of Mourinho trying to do some mental gymnastics. To me, the answer here is very obvious. The answer was for Lukaku to sit out this game. To me, that was a clear answer.
Lukaku.
It's not that Lukaku is a very prolific striker, but
no. And it's funny because
if statistics prove anything, is Lukaku was never going to do anything in a game like this. If there is proof that numbers can show up anything, is that he was not going to do anything in this game. So apart from that, he's been on a bad form. He's been on bad form lately. But honestly, if I was the manager, I would have Lingard on the other wing probably, and have either Martial or Sanchez play down the middle. You can play a false nine, whatever you want to do, but have Martial or Sanchez leading the line is what I would have done. And whoever is not leading the line, stay on the left. Because I feel like either of them could have played that role 10 times better than Lukaku did today. He was not mobile. He was not playing with the team.
We all know Mourinho will not listen to the false nine thing. He always likes to play with the striker who can hold the play and bring in the other players.
Honestly,
the thing we learned today was the players who were going to come into the game.
I feel like that was the major fault today. Because I get what you're saying about hold the ball, bring guys in, but he didn't even do that.
The only time
I was waiting over there for the ball the whole time.
The only time I've seen Mourinho play with a false nine was in Inter Milan during the Champions League final against the semi-final against Barcelona. That was where they had Diego Milito playing sort of
and
like
it worked out fantastically
with Samuel Eto'o.
It worked out fantastically.
But the thing is that you don't have a player with that type of touch.
It doesn't even have to be a false nine thing. I feel like Martial he has the strength to play kind of a Mourinho style. Maybe not exactly what you're doing with Lukaku, that you give him the ball, he holds it up, and maybe not that. But he has the strength to play other roles apart from the false nine role. He can stay up there and he can lead the line. He has the strength to do it. He has the skill. He has the pace.
Definitely.
I don't know why they don't even at least try it. I feel like Mourinho is putting himself in a mental cage. That he's thinking, okay, we bought Lukaku for this.
I feel he definitely needs to try and do things. The game has evolved beyond sticking to the old school type striker playing hold up. You can watch Guardiola and learn from it, to be honest. And also, what was it that happened with Fellaini?
Okay. I don't understand. See, first of all, I watched Fellaini the first couple of minutes into the game. He looked completely confused. His fitness is a question. He was limping all over the field. The boy does not know how to play football.
When last did he actually get his start? I mean, Fellaini is not the best player out there, but I think that was Mourinho's fault. Why bring Fellaini into... I'm sure Fellaini had no idea. He didn't even suspect he was even going to deflate.
As soon as Fellaini...
Why did he bring Fellaini into this game?
As soon as Fellaini entered that game, it was like one of those people that they gave double promotion from primary 5 into JS1. He don't know what's going on. He does not have an idea, clue what is going on.
That's what's going on. I feel Fellaini was rushed. Fellaini has been out for weeks with a knee ligament injury. and all of a sudden you're going to just bring it
Honestly,
into
I
a
don't-
high tension
Exactly.
game, a fast paced game. That was a wrong.
I don't think it was fair to him. This
He-
was
so,
it
yeah.
was too big a game to do something
Yeah.
like
The
that.
fact that he couldn't even keep, he had, okay, see, here's the thing. They're attacking. Fellaini is in the central, he's playing a defensive mid position.
Yeah.
He can't keep up with Dembele and Dyer. Dembele and Dyer are
They're
not
too fast.
fast. They are relatively to the rest of the Premier League. Those two players are not fast. Fellaini's nonsense.
Yeah.
Alright. Basically, to break down Fellaini's rubbish into this game, who does he come on for? He comes up for what's his name? Pogba. Fellaini comes up for Pogba, right? So we have Fellaini here. Can you guys see this?
I just wanted you to start the recording.
Okay. Let me see. It's recording?
Now it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have Fellaini coming.
Mata coming for Lingard.
Mata coming in for Lingard. So Lingard comes off, and then Mata comes in. Yeah. And then I noticed when Mata comes in, he shifts to the flank,
Yeah.
and then Martial switches to the other side, and Sanchez is in the central position.
Yeah.
And then we now have Fellaini come on for Pogba, which is probably the most confusing sub I've ever seen. And then we now have a game where Matic is having to, play this central mid. Fellaini is supposed to be helping him, completely clueless. Mata is trying to do what he can and play as a winger against Davis. And Martial is trying to return to a more familiar role. While Alexis Sanchez realizing, damn, the only person I have is Matic. He is even dropping further down to play side by side with Matic. So when these guys are attacking, you have Eriksen pushing in like this, Dele Alli coming to help him here, and then you now have the overlap from Trippier pulling Martial back as well, and then you now have him and Son coming in, and Kane just watching in behind Smalling. Smalling confused is trying to help Jones because it looks like all the threats are coming from here. Because you have Young focused on Trippier, Jones trying to cover Eriksen, Matic squeezing in to help here, and Uncle Fellaini absolutely clueless here, doesn't know what to do because Dembele and Dyer are coming in as well. Easy ball, you slide the ball through to Kane. Kane, obviously he's treating Smalling like a small boy.
Yeah.
Completely free, and then you have Dele Alli too. And if you notice, a lot of times it looked like Dele Alli, Dembele, and Heung-min Son were lined up around the 18-yard box.
Yeah.
They were always ready. Meanwhile, Uncle Lukaku is helpless here. Mata not having that pace. If he comes back like this, he doesn't have the pace to come back up. And you are not having another player like Sanchez who is strong enough to battle with Lukaku.
What I even found interesting is Sanchez had the freedom and wherewithal to even come forward
Yeah,
a few times to bring the ball forward himself.
yeah. And the thing is, that's not his job.
That's because Lukaku wasn't high pressing enough.
Oh no, I'm not
Fellaini-
talking about United Sanchez.
That's
what
defensive
I'm saying.
Sanchez.
Yeah,
Sanchez.
defensive Sanchez.
The press should have started from here. Lukaku pressing on this defender. and
Yeah, to
Fellaini
hold him
helping
back. Yeah, Fellaini
and
is
covering.
Exactly.
But Fellaini wasn't there. It was just sitting down here, allowing pressure to come to him.
Come to him, yes. Because the thing is, Fellaini plays that sitting DM. So you now found out that Mourinho is looking at this. This boy does not have the intelligence. Pulls him out of the game. And then we bring in Herrera. Herrera is now marking all these guys, pushing everybody out. So we now have a situation where Dembele is falling back. So is Dyer. Sanchez is still here trying to dig the ball out. Ali now has to become more mobile. And then they now start having slight attacks. And Eriksen is having to, come back a little. Everybody starts stepping out. Because, there's now some type of defensive shape.
Yeah.
It's almost becoming zonal. And then they're not having the ability to spring back, forcing these guys back.
But what I still thought is, bringing Fellaini on was a disaster, but not taking Lukaku off, I think, was a bigger mistake. Because if you notice, when everybody was over here just a second ago,
Lukaku is
He
still
was just
stuck.
over there, not assisting the team in any way. They were almost playing with one man down. Whereas even Sanchez over here, the Tottenham Sanchez is able to come forward and even assist the team.
And you know something like I'd like to see. I'd like to see Lukaku's heat map on the match.
Oh my God, that would look terrible.
I feel like he didn't cross the half line. He was not where they needed him to be.
Yeah.
Instead, you have Harry Kane doing the exact same job. Way better, running in behind defenders, stepping out when you need him to step out.
And you notice that Harry Kane was also assisting the midfield.
Exactly.
Lukaku failed to do.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Harry Kane could hold up the ball here and right at the same time swing the ball over to the wings.
Yes.
That shows his awareness of where he's playing.
what's going on and where he is on the field.
Exactly. In the other case, Lukaku is just sitting there waiting for the players to bring the ball to
him,
which is not happening. You know your team is under pressure. We are choked up in the midfield.
We're trying to expand, trying to spread the game. Many times I noticed Lukaku would come in to get the ball from Sanchez while Sanchez is trying to explode out into space. And it's like, hey, oi man, move out the way, get into the box. And then
drag the defender away.
And then here's the thing, whenever Lukaku will step into this position and Sanchez will be trying to get out into space, you notice Juan Mata will now have to be the one to run in behind the defenders. And then when he runs it out into the defenders, this whole space is empty. You now have players that can now run down and attack this wing, and then you are having Valencia having to step up early. And you know, this game, it's tiring.
It is.
Yeah, that was. I feel like. Let me piss up now. I feel like all in all, this wasn't really Man U losing to Tottenham. It was more like Mourinho losing to Pochettino.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a
Tactical
tactical fight that Man U lost, or rather Mourinho lost. But fair play to Tottenham. They took the game right from the first minutes. They took the game. They came out there and knew what they were going to do. That first goal, like what's his name was saying, Robbie Lowe, or the guy on NBC has said, it looked like something they practiced on it. It wasn't just. Defender is not mad. He just decide, let me just cross this ball. 30 seconds. He knew what they were doing.
Something I noticed Tottenham do a lot. They swing that ball across the field from the central mid all the way to the right-handed edge of the 18-yard box. And you know who's always there? Eriksen.
If Eriksen follows the ball, and you watch Dele Alli filling
for Eriksen, and then Kane gets him behind the defender. And then the thing with football, once you cross that ball behind the defensive line, it's a threat, it's a problem. Because it's in the middle between the goalie and that back foot. It's trouble.
Once there's a loose ball and you gain possession,
it's done.
The defense has to panic.
No, it was a fun game all in all, but it looked like Tottenham was controlling the game from start to finish.
Yeah. Players I'd like to give props to. People like Dembele. Dembele did well, got his foul when he needed to muscle who he needed to muscle. They gave Alexis Sanchez a tough time out there.
Yeah, very
warm welcome.
Big targets. They knew if there was anything coming from United.
Yeah, Dembele shut down Pogba too.
Yep.
Pogba had to move around the field, made Mourinho uncomfortable with his movements.
I still cannot understand why Pogba came off the pitch and for Fellaini more.
It almost looked like, okay, so the thing, what I saw was that, Mourinho is trying to play a structured game, maintain your position and move the ball. Pogba seeing that, okay, well, this Dembele guy is following me all over the place. If I become more mobile, I can shake him off. Mourinho is like, okay, you're trying to shake him off, but you're leaving Matic in there, and I have Lingard already up front. So now let me sub you as bringing a structured player like Fellaini. Fellaini is sitting too deep. Instead, he helps Tottenham in their attack rather than allowing other players play their role properly in Man U.
I think that was a tactical disaster from Mourinho. It was I would like to know what was going through his head when he brought on Fellaini in a match in a game.
That was exactly what I said. He brought in Fellaini to be more structural and keep the shape.
All of that sounds sensible, except for the fact that this guy has not gotten a game in how long. I'm not even going to comment on whether Fellaini is a good player.
The tactic makes sense. It's the personality that's the issue.
He has not gotten a game in how long, and he comes on against Tottenham 2-0 down, and the only thing that was ever going to happen is what happened. But anyway, all in all, it was a fun game. Let's move on and wrap this up real quick.
Predictions, right?
So predictions for next week.
I'm I'm going to use my.
Well, not next week, but this weekend.
This
Next
weekend.
game week. Wow. Okay, that's good. I'm not complaining. Okay, we're just gonna go through real quick. Okay, you haven't done this before. Go through real quick. Score lines. Who do you think is gonna win? So Bournemouth, Man City.
Man City, of
It's
course.
Burnley.
Sorry, Burnley, Man City. Where is Man City?
Man City, of course.
Score line. What's the prediction?
I say 2-0. Sean Dyche knows what he's doing. He can at least hold.
I say Man City wins 2-1. I
You think
think
so?
I think Burnley will get. I think they'll get something in.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. 2-1.
Okay. So okay, we'll just keep switching it. Burnley, Bournemouth, Stokes. Yeah,
Bournemouth,
Stokes.
Stoke. Say Stoke. I mean, Bournemouth will keep their form. 2-0.
Well, who's gonna get those two? Callum Wilson. You know Callum Wilson is a flash in the pan kind of guy.
Yeah, I did now.
I say 1-1.
I say 2-1 to Stoke. I have faith in Chupamuteng. I know he's upset with how things are going.
All right. Brighton, West Ham.
I say West Ham. They just signed Ayu, so I believe the Ayu brothers are together now.
Which are you?
The one from Swansea.
No.
Really?
Yes, they signed him today.
Oh
He
wow.
played today too.
Yeah.
Wow.
He played yesterday
Yesterday.
against Arsenal.
Yesterday. Wow.
I give it to West Ham 3-1.
Great. Well, it's the other way around. Swansea signed Andre Ayu
Oh, okay.
from West Ham. So West Ham are without
So
Ayu.
West Ham without the Ayew brothers.
So you dare to rethink your prediction now.
Let me say 2-1 to West Ham instead of 3.
Brighton 2-0.
Really? How's that gonna happen?
Yeah, home.
All right.
Maria and Grove.
Leicester, Swansea. What do you
Leicester, Swansea. Swansea, they are strong. Oh.
Now they have the Ayu brothers.
That's the Harry brothers. With this marriage drama going on with Leicester, I feel it will be hard for them to win at home. I'll say Swansea 2-1.
I think the result of that game very much has the Mahrez deal gone through. I don't think it has.
They have till midnight today.
I think it very much depends on the outcome of that deal. I don't see a reason why Man City will fail to sign him, so I'm gonna assume Mahrez will not be there. I'll say 2-1 to Swansea the way they're looking.
I think I'll go Leicester. I like the way Iheanacho is clicking with Leicester City, and Ndidi is my boy.
I like Ndidi, but I feel like Iheanacho is
The man hit bar today.
Yeah,
I mean, he by 18 bar.
I mean, it shows at least intent.
yeah.
How many times did Lukaku hit bar today? Yeah, so don't bring that
They
leg.
got a save out of
Lukaku.
very soon.
Yeah,
I
one
think he
save.
only got the one shot today.
That was his rubbish shot to me.
Okay. Somebody came off the bench and was more of a threat.
Anyway, Man U Huddersfield, what do you think?
That's the match that Man you are going to use to show all this today. They are not FC with Sing.
I think it's going to be a tough game still. We're still going to be getting used to Sanchez. We might probably see Sanchez play on the left again. Marshall, right?
I don't think he will repeat that mistake.
Oh, I believe it's going to be a slow start again to the run. So 2-0.
It's the kind of game that Lukaku can score. So
Yeah, that's the type of match he likes to score. Against a team like all those. Then you now see him stretch out his hand.
You should never celebrate.
Or even player like Lingard, that's the game you score.
exactly. These guys will not be saying Lingard.
Honestly, if you ask me, that game against Oros will just restart a whole new lineup. Sanchez, Rashford, Martial.
True.
I don't know why
Try
it
something
was
new.
that would just be such a deadly lineup.
Yeah, so much pace going through.
Dead-
Forget using physical.
That reminds me of Liverpool's front three that just
Yes.
Sané, Salah, Firmino just bombing through teams. But anyway, what's your scoreline prediction?
I say Man you win that game 3-0.
I'll say 3-1.
2-0.
All right, West Brom, Southampton. What do you think?
Southampton. I give it to Southampton. 2-0.
I agree with that. Southampton 2-0.
I think
my battery is about to die.
I think West Brom over Southampton 1-0 run down.
All right, Arsenal, Everton. What do you think?
0-0.
Nah, no way that game is any 0-0.
Aubameyang will not score.
One will start off the bench.
See,
That's if he even plays.
he probably will start off.
He
the
won't
bench.
play.
I'm gonna give it 2-1 to Arsenal, and I suspect Walcott is also gonna do Everton's goal.
Oh, Arsenal's goal.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think Arsenal will concede definitely. So yeah, 3-1.
3-1.
Arsenal will lose and everybody will start shouting that Wenger should have signed a defender.
Nah, the annoying thing about Arsenal is this is the game Arsenal now come and they'll now win. And all those other Arsenal fans that are on the fence will fall back and they'll say, okay, maybe Wenger is not so bad. Until the next disaster.
Crystal Palace, Newcastle.
Crystal Palace, Newcastle.
Crystal Palace are at home. I don't know, man.
I'll give it to Crystal Palace. I'll give it to Palace.
I give it to Newcastle.
I'll say 2-1 to Palace.
I say 1-0 to Newcastle.
What do you think, Tej?
I'll give it to Palace as well. 1-0.
It's like I'm going against two of you on this video.
What's the next one?
Liverpool Tottenham.
King.
That's the action match. I think that's the match of the week.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Liverpool Tottenham at Anfield. I think Mo Salah is gonna be out for a goal, man.
You think so? He's always out for a goal.
This is surprise you guys, but I'm gonna give it to Liverpool 3-1. 3-1 to Liverpool. 3-1.
I say 3-1 Spurs.
I say, based on the way these two teams play, I say 5-3.
5-3.
That's not too surprising.
Tottenham.
It's gonna be an exposing game, definitely.
I'm expecting a hat trick from Harry Kane and a hat trick from Mohamed Salah.
I think Harry Kane.
That would be beautiful, man. For my fantasy, that would be wonderful.
Alright. So what about Chelsea, Watford?
That game might just end 0-0. These two teams are very
The
stupid.
way Chelsea is looking these days,
It's not Olivier Giroud. They are playing Fine Boy FC.
it's not impossible for Watford to expose them the way Bournemouth exposed them today.
Yeah.
If Watford can do it, I mean, Bournemouth can do it, then I can see Watford winning that game 2-1. If Chelsea don't get their act together before then.
So,
What do you think? 2-1. I'm saying 2-1 to Watford.
I say Chelsea win 2-0.
If my prediction is correct, I should get bonus, man. That should count as 2.
I say Giroud gets in a debut goal.
Yeah, me too. 1-0.
I say
1-0.
2-1 to Watford and maybe Giroud scores.
I think that's 1-0 to Chelsea.
Alright. So,
How's that
say
scores?
that's it for.
This is what I see. Somebody will cross the ball into Giroud. He will use his head to knock it down. But Hazard, the Hazard will score.
But anyways, before my battery dies, that's all for this game week review / preview. Catch us next week. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.
Safe.
That's all.
Like, as you people say, safe. That boy doesn't have to play ball. He will be.
I don't think Iwobi is bad.
Who is about to cook?
See this guy.
You're recording already?
Yeah.
Your remote is not working.
I've not figured out how to use it. Okay. Are we ready?
Let's go.
Definitely ready.
Yeah.
Trophy's in your face.
Yeah, amigos. This video is brought to you and sponsored by Disarray.
Anyways,
I get the ball point.
alright.
Alright, let me sit down first so I can cut the rest up.
Alright.
Wait, I'm about to sneeze. Alright, I think it's good.
I'm gonna make a bloopers video out of this shit. Alright.
Let's go. For Pogba. Where is your distance? Does it show bench?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, so let's just scratch this one.
But
Just
that's what the other stuff was for. You can change it.
change your show. Oh, okay.
It's not a
Okay, so we have Fellaini coming in for.
That's Tottenham. We'll be waiting.
Okay,
I'm just gonna cut all this shit.
so this on the blue pass.
Yeah. Alright.
Just I don't need. Okay.
Okay. I didn't put their names, sir. So.
It's not important enough.
Alright.
Let me look at this.
So far,
Okay, so we have this guy. Funny enough, I didn't sign consent release form.
Consent release. Look at this guy. Which guy consent release for? What we're about to do now is really going to test my editing skills.
Let me blur out all the sponsorship details until they pay me money.
Well, that's so, man. Let them see you wearing it and be like,
This segment was proudly brought to you by Microsoft Surface Pro, Nike.
HHU basketball. Alright, let me go reset the camera. Let me look like that.
Is it play recording already?
Yeah.
So starting with Crystal Palace, Newcastle.
Yeah, Crystal Palace, Newcastle.
Yeah.
Push it by me, side. Push it by me,